What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Daily Dose. I'm your host, Dylan Davis. To my right is my co-host and friend, Matt McGinty. Gint, how was your weekend, man?
Good, man. It was long. How was your birthday weekend?
It was great. It's great.
How old are you now?
What?
How old are you now?
23.
You're getting old.
Yeah. How old are you?
22.
Yeah. But anyway, the Daily Dose as always is brought to you by the Painted Lines Network. So if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button on the Painted Lines YouTube channel. A lot of great content. Oh yeah. What was that?
That was our video that I just tweeted out, and it just started playing the broadcast.
Thanks for that, Gint. But yeah, follow them on Twitter at the Painted Lines. Subscribe to them on YouTube. And also like this video and turn on notifications. They've also started a new Twitch account, Gint. So
Twitch.tv/The Painted Lines.
Say that again.
Twitch.tv/The Painted Lines.
There you go. For everyone that can understand that, because I couldn't at first.
Follow. We're trying to get partnered. Once you get partnered, you can subscribe. You can link your Amazon Prime account to Twitch. Have a Twitch Prime account. It's a free subscription. Helps us out greatly.
Look at you. And also TPL has a public Discord. So it's a Discord chat. So go on the Painted Lines Twitter at the Painted Lines, and you guys can join the public chat and chat with us whenever you want about anything, random Philly sports in general, whatever it is. It's always a lot of fun. On today's show of the Daily Dose, we have a lot to talk about, Gint. Later on in the show, we're going to review the weekend in Philadelphia sports. The Flyers lose to the Bruins, lose both to the Bruins, actually, and then bounce back with a 7-4 win on Super Bowl Sunday yesterday with a hat trick by Scott Lawton. So we're going to get into that game a little bit later in the show. We're going to get into the Sixers weekend. Since my last show, they dropped a game to the Portland Trailblazers at home, to an undermanned Portland Trailblazers at that, and then bounced back on Saturday night again, defeating the Brooklyn Nets and James Harden. Super Bowl 55 took place yesterday. We're going to talk about that. Marquise already has some comments and opinions over to my right. And I know, we're a little worn down by the negativity that is the Philadelphia Eagles. But later in the show, we're also going to discuss Carson Wentz trade rumors, because it's inevitable. Again, I'm done. I fought the good fight. I think I did. But the time has come. I don't think 11 wants to be here anymore. I think that's pretty obvious now. I was, in denial a little bit, but we'll get into that. But first, let's start with the Super Bowl, because Marquise has some words for the Zebras last night. I know you disagree. I disagree slightly. I don't like the role that they played in the first half. It was a factor a little bit. It's not the factor. The Chiefs got their asses handed to them last night in the 31-9 loss. They didn't even get into the end zone. The streaker got into the end zone before the Kansas City Chiefs did. It was really bad. Todd Bowles, Tom Brady got the MVP award, but Todd Bowles probably played the biggest role with that linebacking core and those corners who did not play. I think they doubled Tyreek Hill. I think I saw a stat that they doubled Tyreek Hill every single play last night.
As they should have.
Yeah. Because they torched them the first meeting. What do you have, 270 yards?
Yeah.
Yeah, Vince says Vita Vea for MVP. Look, that defensive front got after Patrick Mahomes. Did you see that stat this morning? So for everyone that didn't, if you're not on Twitter.
He ran 497 yards, right?
Yeah, something like 496, 400. He ran 490-some yards before throwing the ball last night in all of his dropbacks.
That's wild, man.
You understand? He ran for his life. And you know what? I'm just going to throw this little jab out there for all the people, for all the 11 haters. It's wild what a bad offensive line looks like for a quarterback. It's wild how that happens.
And when people drop passes, dude, it's almost like you're not going to look that great.
Yeah, dude, first of all, I don't want to talk too much about Patrick Mahomes because they lost last night and the offense did not look good. But it wasn't because of him, really. And some of those throws, dude, he made on the run, especially that diving throw from like the 30 when he was almost on the ground.
Yeah.
And it hit it hit him in the face mask.
I know. That was what I was
like, dude, it hit him in the freaking face mask.
Yeah.
That's how accurate he was with that diving throw 2 feet off the ground while his body was lateral with the turf. He tried, dude. But overall, Todd Bowles and those linebackers I'm just going to throw another jab in there at this Eagles organization. It's amazing what happens when you invest in a linebacking position too. But what the hell do I know? I mean, seriously. And what were some of your thoughts on last night's game? Because I know who you wanted to win, and you had a good day.
Yeah, dude. Tom Brady's the best athlete ever. The craziest thing to me was when Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay, it was Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Ronald Jones. None of them scored last night.
No.
Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, Leonard Fournette. That's what really was the crazy part to me. Rob Gronkowski had like 6 receptions for 67 yards and it's 2 touchdowns. And he didn't even play in the NFL last year. It's like what he's able to do. He just gets the guys he wants. And he's okay with just running with his guys. And they just win.
Dude, he is insane. Like, it's you know what scared me last night? Because I was wondering it. Like, throughout the regular season, like, he showed glimpses and he threw a ton of touchdown passes in the regular season. And they were okay, but they were like 7-5, 12 games in. And it was like, okay, let's see what happens here, right? And then I'm like, I was very curious, could he flip that switch come postseason time? Oh, he switched it. Yeah. He flipped it, and he flipped it last night in a big way, dude. But they did things to help out, his strengths. Under pressure this year, Tom's QBR, Tom's accuracy was atrocious. Well, what did they do? They kept the pocket clean. 1, 2, 3, drop back, deliver the football, play action. He completed over 70% of his passes, and I think 3 touchdowns were on play action last night. Another jab. It's crazy what happens to when you play to your quarterback's strengths. Holy shit. But anyway, so he was incredible last night, and I'll be so bold to say this, Gint. I know he won the MVP award. He finished 3rd in my MVP voting last night.
In terms of Super Bowl MVP?
Yeah.
Who'd you have above him? Gronk?
Todd Bowles was 1. Tyrann Mathieu 2.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Tyrann Mathieu. You idiot. You freaking idiot. What are you doing poking that bear? You wanted to piss him off last night? You want to know the scariest part, Gint? He literally said that he's going to come after him. Gint, he threw right at him. That Antonio Brown touchdown?
Yeah.
At Honey Badger. Like, dude, what are you doing pissing off the GOAT in the biggest stage of them all on his home turf?
Yeah, that really reminded me remember when Jason Tatum dunked on LeBron in Game 7 and flexed on him, and LeBron went on to score an assist on 34 next points to the Cavs, and they won Game 7 and went to the finals. Not that LeBron's a GOAT, but it just reminded me.
Oh, you threw it out there. You threw it out there. Nadir, long time no see. What is going on, man? We're talking about the Super Bowl right now, and we're about to switch gears to, what has to do with the Super Bowl and what has to do a little bit with Gint said, and that is Tom Brady and GOAT talk. So there's a few directions I want to take this. So you guys comment along with us. Have some fun with it. I'll pull up your comments. Who is your GOAT when it comes to the NFL, and who is your GOAT of GOATs in team sports, right? Because, some people think LeBron, some people think Jordan. Gretzky's name with the NHL gets thrown out there. Baseball, I don't know if you want to go Ruth, Aaron.
George Ryder tweeted the other night, Barry Bonds is the best baseball player ever. I was like, George, what are you doing and where are you?
George had a few too many that night.
Seriously.
And then obviously football, the old son. There used to be a debate of Montana Brady. That debate's that ship has long sailed. Yeah. But I'm going to say it again. I know you agree, and I don't know how many people will disagree with this. He's the GOAT of all GOATs. I said ARAM.
Team sports, brother.
Yeah, team sports. Not.
And we'll just hit core 4 sports because there is swimming is, I guess, a team sport. But
Nadir, I really hope that's a troll because that's a bad comment, brother. It's a bad comment. But who's your GOAT of GOATs? Who's your GOAT when it comes to National Football League? In my mind, any other answer outside of TB12 is wrong, but I'll let you. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but in my mind, you're wrong. Like after last night, there is no going away from it, dude. He was already the greatest of all time. He's won 7 rings. He's been to 10 Super Bowls. He's won 7 of them. Tom Brady is more likely to appear in a freaking Super Bowl than Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time, is to make a 3-point shot. Do you understand that?
Dude.
He's 43 years old, but he was a system quarterback.
That's
right?
what I was going to bring up. At 43, he leaves the Patriots and
hold on, I don't mean to cut you off. ARAM, team sports. Come on, man.
Dude, at 43, he leaves. A lot of people are like, oh, it's Belichick's system quarterback, man. But, dude, he goes to the bowl right away, beats the guy that everyone claims is the best talent we've seen, which, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is an unreal talent and is going to be in the NFL for a long time. But after last night, which I know you kind of wanted to segue in this, I don't think there's a way that Patrick Mahomes will ever be considered a better quarterback than Tom Brady.
And that gets to Nadir's comment here, which is another terrible comment that Patrick Mahomes will break his records. He just lost to him last night, Nadir. No one's
beaten him in the playoff game, right?
Yeah, I think he's 6-0 in his playoff. Yeah, and he's 0-2 versus Tom. Abe says, fellas, what's going on? Abe, what's going on? ARAM, please elaborate on your comment. I don't know, but just comment. Will you elaborate on that comment, please?
Why not? Why? He has more Super Bowls than every single team in the NFL. Team, not even player.
Dude, I'm losing brain cells today.
All right, we're just moving on from that.
I'm moving on from that comment. Okay, Wayne Gretzky, he's on the Rushmore. Okay, he's the greatest hockey player of all time.
The stat of Wayne Gretzky is the one where it was like one season where if he didn't score any goals, or maybe it might have been points total, if he didn't score any goals. Like if they took all of his goals away, he'd still be the leader in points for like a season, I think. Like that's sad to me. That was like crazy.
But anyway, I mean, I had to come back to this comment. I'm sorry. I'm talking about team sports. You've mentioned 2 people who don't play team sports, and what does that even mean? What does that mean? Okay. No, I know you're saying what's up, Abe. I know. How are you? How was your weekend? How's your Super Bowl? But anyway. He's 7 out of 10, dude. He has more Super Bowl championships than a single franchise does. He was a system quarterback, right, under Bill? He goes to the other conference.
The system worked elsewhere.
He goes to the other conference with a team that had no winning culture, to a team that had one of the lowest winning percentages in all of team sports in America, and they win the Super Bowl. They're the only I can't read that yet. They're the and then what does he do again? He gets them to be the only team to host their Super Bowl and then wins it at the age of 43. How can the goat of all team sports come from a sport only played by one country?
Because he's the best.
What sports would you like me to qualify? At least basketball is played internationally. Nobody plays. Dude, okay. I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want from me. It's football. It's one of the biggest sports. The Super Bowl was maybe the biggest sporting event ever. Let's see. Ask Matt, Travis Kelce, McGinty how it felt like losing to Bucks.
I look like Travis Kelce.
Maybe, but get one.
You got called Jason Kelce the one time.
I know, we're brothers.
I called Travis Kelce now.
Brothers. I'm getting so sidetracked by these comments.
Yeah.
Okay? We're getting off track here. My point is, he's the goat of all goats, and now I want to switch gears to another conversation before we move on to the Eagles and some of the weekend review, okay? Because we only have till about 4:55 with Gint tonight because he's Mr. Popular and has to run all the time. Okay? So, for everyone out there, Nadir, Abe, Mark, ARAM, you wanted to talk basketball, let's talk a little basketball and mix it back and forth, right? So, when it comes to GOAT talk, who's your GOAT? Is it LeBron or is it Jordan? Mine's MJ. Gint's is MJ. Our other 2 co-hosts on the Faithful Fanatics. Dude. Okay. I don't know what you want from me. Anyway.
Hey, man, we like Tom, man. Just give us a
yeah. Damn, dude. I can't talk football? Okay, MJ is the GOAT to him. Okay. Jack Nichols is the okay, sure. LeBron, of course he's a LeBron.
LeBron guy.
Okay, so let me get to this, right? So my point is, and I don't know if that's their stance, but what Snap and George and our co-host on Faithful Fanatics and a lot of other LeBron stands that I've talked to about the GOAT conversation, they always say, like, you can't, obviously 6-0 Jordan, LeBron's what, getting 4-6 in the finals or whatever it is. Okay. And what do they say? No, if you're talking about single greatest basketball player to ever play, 6'9", whatever he is, this can guard 1 through 5, can get to the rack, can pass. That's their argument all the time, right? Because you can't talk winning, right, Gint? Okay. Yeah. So why is it when it comes to quarterback in the National Football League, that conversation is flipped? Because Tom Brady, I just told you he's the GOAT of all GOATs. He's my GOAT. But he's not the greatest thrower of the football I've ever seen. Patrick Mahomes is more talented, in my opinion. Aaron Rodgers is another name. I didn't get to see him in his time, but I've heard about Elway's arm, okay? I get it. But Brady's the GOAT, and that is like world renowned, okay? Like Brady is not, I would say 98% of people's GOATs when it comes to NFL, right, again? Yeah. So then why is it that the rings, it's always because of now it's 7 rings for Brady. But when it comes to Jordan and LeBron, it's reversed. It's the talent. It doesn't have to do with the winning, it's the talent.
Yeah.
What? I'm so confused. But Marky, so here's my point. And you know, you're entitled to your opinion, obviously, but I'm asking you. So Brady's the GOAT of football, but is Tom Brady the greatest quarterback you've ever seen? Like, is he the greatest quarterback you've ever seen throwing the football? No, Rodgers is better in my opinion. Mahomes, there's probably a few more, right? Maybe even Favre, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, but he's the GOAT because of the rings and that combined. So why is it when it comes to MJ and LeBron, it's just you got to put the winning aside? So that's all I'm asking you people. That's just a conversation that me and Gint were having before the show started, and we agree, I think.
Yeah, I was just mentioning before how, like, I really am surprised that all, like, the LeBron people are Brady people.
Yeah, that's what I don't get.
But they are.
Because we say that because, again, I know I keep repeating myself, but most of their arguments, LeBron stands, are that he's the greatest basketball player ever. He was better at basketball than MJ was. He's bigger, can guard 1 through 5. He could do more on a court, blah, blah, blah. Some say he's a better scorer, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes are better throwers of the football than Tom Brady is. But Tom Brady's your GOAT in football. So why is LeBron James the GOAT of the NBA?
It's a valid question.
So I'm going to ask people, and you guys can continue to comment if you're going to watch this after the fact. Comment on the YouTube channel. Let's see. Jordan dunked on unathletic Bill Cartwright type players. LeBron does it against super athletes. The pace is different today. Yeah, I wish I cared about who dunked on who. Okay.
Yeah, man. When LeBron dunked on Jason Terry, it was unbelievable. 6'2" Jason Terry.
Right. But okay. So Marky, Aaron Rodgers, the best thrower of all time. To agree there, but it takes more than that. You need that leadership. Okay, we agree there. Jordan wasn't maybe the greatest leader of all time.
If you saw the documentary, you'd know it.
How is he maybe not the greatest leader of all time right there with Tom? That's where I'm getting confused. Because the only argument out with the LeBron Jordan thing is that he's just, he's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster, he's better than Jordan was at basketball. But when it comes to the quarterback position, it's the winning, it's the leadership. Well, you're crisscrossing your arguments. But anyway, we can talk about that as much as we want. Jordan also dunked on Mutombo. Yeah, 7 foot freaking whatever Mutombo. Let's switch gears to the Eagles before we get to the Sixers and Flyers again. Oh, man.
Let's just say it. Every time someone has left the city, we've said, Doug, out. Schwartz, out. Well, you can add another one to the list there, Dylan. Carson is out. He's out.
Dude, this city has sucked. And I see the comments, and I don't want to just ignore them because I did ask for the comments, but we switched topics. But all I'll say is I get he led 3 teams to the NBA Finals. But let's see. Yeah, Doc was high last game for having Ferk be the 6th man. If about winning, then that's not what I'm saying. It's a combination of both is what I'm saying. But when people talk about Jordan and LeBron, it's not about the winning. It's about because he's better. That's my argument. But anyway, the Eagles have absolutely sucked the life out of me, Gint.
Me too.
Dude, I'm broken. You're speaking to a broken man right here, okay? I don't know what to do. I'm confused. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. And I may not root for them this year. I may not, dude. And this isn't me being a petty Carson fan because Carson wants out. If he wants out, there's nothing they can do. But I can be petty and mad at them for causing him to want out. Why would he want to be here? Ty has it right here. I'm lifeless. I got nothing for you. Those Eagle streams, that passion you saw in me won't be there next year. Why? Because we freaking suck and we're going to suck next year. Okay? But B, because they have created the biggest organizational failure I may have ever seen or will see in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about the dead cap hit, right? And we've talked about it a lot. They created that. You traded and invested so much in 2016 to go draft that kid. You did that. No one else. You did that. You paid him. You did that. No one else. You created the drama. The Nick Foles drama, that just happened, right? They caught lightning in a bottle. He was already here. No one expected that. You did the right thing. You got him out of here. You drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round when you had multiple holes around Carson Wentz to help him win. You did that. No one else. So now it's, he's petty. He wants out. No. Or the best is he's not mentally strong enough to be a quarterback. But Jalen Hurts is. How the hell do you know how mentally strong Jalen Hurts is? He's played in 4 games in the National Football League in which he was on the opposite end of what's going on to Carson Wentz. He was the backup that got to come in and just play free football. What happened in the National Championship in Alabama, Gint?
Yeah, he got benched at halftime.
And then what did he do after the year?
Tua came in, won the game, and he transferred schools.
Okay, and I'm not calling Jalen Hurts mentally weak for doing that. Okay, I'm not saying that at all. But you would call Carson Wentz mentally. They would call Carson Wentz mentally weak for something like that. That's my point.
It's essentially what's happening.
Yes.
What was happening.
So no, he's not petty. Why the hell would he want to be here? Why? And now I'm also confused because more of the organizational failure that you've created, if he's gone, Gint, why the hell is Doug fired?
Well, dude, that's the biggest thing because you and I came on here when Nick Sirianni was hired, and we said, this is a Carson move. I think that me and you said, I believe this is predicated around number 11 being your quarterback next year. And then all this just happens. So what was the point of letting Doug walk? Wasn't the big thing with Doug that he didn't want Carson to be the quarterback?
Yes.
If he wasn't going to be the quarterback, why'd you let him go?
But not just that. Why couldn't – so you're telling me that if Doug Peterson was fired, there was no conversation with Carson Wentz before the firing to say, yo, you're our guy. We know there's a disconnect here. We're letting go of Doug. You're our guy. Blah. There's no phone call, nothing. Clearly there wasn't if they're both going to be gone. And I'm not a Doug Peterson guy anymore, Gint. You know how I felt about him the past year or two. But he did win. I'll give him his credit. He helped win that Super Bowl, just like I give Carson the credit in the regular season. And I give Nick Foles the credit in the postseason for that Super Bowl win. Right? But why are you getting rid of both?
Makes no sense.
So now we're starting over with Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts maybe. Or maybe we're going to draft a freaking quarterback at 6.
Or maybe BDN's coming back, dude. This is...
what did I compare it to? You can't compare that. Carson signed for millions. The Hurts thing?
Yeah.
I'm not talking... the money has nothing to do with how mentally strong someone is, dude. They continuously did something to go against the guy they paid to be the franchise quarterback of their franchise. Okay? That's what it's about. So I don't want to hear he's not mentally strong. He should want to come here and compete. Compete with who? The kid that went 1-3 in the final 4 games? Dude, everyone's savior? What the hell is going on here?
And
Yeah, this is the craziest thing, Mark. I saw this earlier too.
Yeah. Justice for Jameis Winston, though. You follow Barstool, right?
Yeah.
Just a quick. I know it's completely sidetracked, but dude, when
I'm good. The comments today, they're getting to me.
Hold on. Just this will lighten you up, dude. You remember when the Saints signed Jameis Winston?
Mm-hmm.
Big Cat was on his podcast, and they were like, "Well, what does that do? What does that do to your power rankings?" He goes, "Well, Jameis Winston starts. The Saints are number 1, dude. He's a huge Jameis Winston guy." Sorry, I had to throw that out there. But real quick, before
Philadelphia fan,
go in, no,
go ahead.
Don't go in, please. Ty said it best. This has just become unlikable, and you and I were on every single podcast or live stream we did for the Eagles. Ty was also there a ton, and we sat through, and we still rooted for this team. I don't know if I can root for this team next season.
Not next season. I don't know if I can either.
I said if Ben got moved, I was going where he was going. And
I won't do that. Like I want Carson to succeed. Like I won't be a fan of that team. I want him to succeed.
No,
I won't root for the Eagles next year.
I enjoy seeing them lose.
Philadelphia fans complaining on everything, never satisfied. Dude, you are the one that comes on here, Nadir, and bitches and moans about the Sixers when they're in first place in the East. You do it every single show. I'm talking about the Eagles. What would I have to be positive about with the Philadelphia Eagles right now?
There's nothing. There's not one. Like, what?
Time out. He's talking to the wrong person, dude. I'm positive as hell about the Sixers right now. I'm positive about the Flyers. I'm positive telling you the Phillies are closer to 1 or 2 in the division than they are at the bottom like everyone else. The only team I'm complaining about is the Eagles. What would I be satisfied about?
Is there anything likable about the Philadelphia Eagles right now? Truthfully.
Not a damn thing.
Like, look at, even on paper, like, you can't even be like Miles Sanders is kind of cool. Like, oh, he's dope. But then when the reports came out that Wentz was going and he said, we're so much closer to a Super Bowl.
He's a snake, bro. You're an absolute snake. You're so much closer. Yeah. That 1-3 record with your guy was real. You're real close, bro.
I don't like anyone or anything.
I really don't like the young Jalen Reagor is another one too that's on social media that says he puts out a lot of questionable shit when it comes to his teammates. Like these young dudes are pissing me off, bro. I'm sorry, they are. They're not that likable, really. I'm sorry.
Chicago.
Ty says nothing. Let's see. Wentz going to the Bears. Just seen Bears promoted. Oh, great.
I'm a big Chicago Bears fan.
Yeah, and I'll say this, and this is where I want to wrap it up. So I think he's gone. What can we get for him? Look, a first-round pick would be great. Guess who's making that first-round pick?
Yeah.
Howie Roseman's still in the building, guys. I don't know what it was. You're right, I'm not satisfied because how am I? Yeah, that's great. We got a first-round pick for Carson Wentz with the way he played last year. What if it's pick 20 or 21? Howie Roseman's making that pick?
Yeah.
That's good.
Another thing I'll say that I will be looking forward to if they are to make the move is Nick Foles has to be coming back in the move. The Bears aren't going to take I
really won't root for them next year.
They did the show with Jamie Lynch earlier.
Yeah.
And he said it perfectly. He said the Bears aren't going to have that Wentz Foles locker room thing that we had.
No.
Nick Foles is coming back in the deal. And I can't wait to see the delusionals that thought Nick Foles should stay here and the delusionals that thought Jalen Hurts should be the starter as who should start. And the next thing you know, we'll somehow draft a quarterback at 6. We'll have a quarterback room with 36 people in it.
Well, we are a quarterback factory. You didn't know that? Here's what I'll say about that. The reason I said I definitely will not root for them if that happens, that is not a direct shot at Nick Foles, right? Like, can you guys see behind my head right there? Okay. I'm forever grateful for what that man did. It was amazing.
There's a statue for it in case you're wondering.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going down that freaking road again. You remember how many times we had to bring Jordan Matthews back here to try to propel us to a postseason run? What? Come on, dude. Really? He left here, got his money, lost his job to Gardner Minshew, went to the Bears, didn't win the job against Trubisky, came in, brought them back for it down versus Atlanta, and then lost his job. Has Carson Wentz left the city yet? No? Why do you ask?
He's got to be closer than – he's probably looking at property in Chicago as we speak.
No, his property that's being built is by my house, and it's freaking insane.
Well, he's having the property built.
Yeah, it's not done yet.
Renovations, probably just trying to get it to sell for higher.
So I don't know, dude. And later throughout this week, something might break this week, and we'll be talking about the trade and what we got for him, or tomorrow's show and Wednesday's show. If nothing happens, Gint or myself will be talking. I'm just here so I won't get fined. We'll be talking about what kind of packages we could see, what's reasonable for them, everything like that. But this sucks, man. This team has absolutely failed in every way fathomable. And for the people that aren't pissed off, you're letting them win. They're in a rebuild now, right? They won a Super Bowl 3 years ago, and I was told this is the new normal, and we're currently in a rebuild with our defensive coordinator out, head coach out, franchise quarterback out to create the biggest dead cap hit in NFL history by over $12 million.
Yeah,
I'm happy. I'm real happy.
I don't know and especially people saying, no, it's not a rebuild. We still have good players. Which, I mean, we have Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham. They're both good players. I don't see them being here, if I'm being honest.
Malik Jackson's gone.
Malik Jackson's gone. Zach Ertz probably gone as well. I don't understand what the motive is here. They're like trying to win 6 games. Six games is like, oh, well, we won games. I don't even have words for it. This shit is like doesn't even make sense. We hired a head coach because I thought we wanted 11 to be the quarterback. I was like, all right, you know what? 11 will be the quarterback. We'll fix him up. Then maybe we're not far off this thing again. Nah, we'll take a second round project pick that went 1-3 in his first 4 NFL starts.
Or we'll trade him too and draft someone at 6.
I think I'd rather that.
I think I Sirianni should have massive say.
I just don't get.
Well, but at the same time, I don't even know if Sirianni's probably just a placeholder hire right now. Again, that's probably the whole thing. He's probably just a placeholder hire while they go through this rebuild, and then they can him 3 years down the road. And again, I keep hearing, they started the rebuild and they'll be out of cap hell in 2 years. The guy that created the cap hell is still in charge. So no, there's no light at the end of the tunnel right now, man.
He survived this purge.
No, I have no idea how. He has pictures of Jeffrey. He has pictures. Video, he's got everything. It's in a safe somewhere. And the minute he's canned, it's all getting leaked. Because there's no way Jeffrey Lurie in his right mind keeps him out of everyone that was here.
Doesn't even make sense.
Oh, and didn't John Dorsey get a job somewhere else?
He did?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, man.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but Ty might know this. I'm pretty sure John Dorsey got a promotion somewhere elsewhere. So that's out the window.
The guy.
Him helping with the drafts out the window.
He'll be picking at 20. I can't wait to see it.
All right. Well, we got about a little over 20 minutes left, so let's switch gears to the weekend review. I'll just glance over it because I know people want to talk basketball and the Sixers here. The Flyers took down the Washington Capitals yesterday, 7-4. Scott Lawton, my boy, again, with the Hattie on my birthday. I don't know if I can rip him anymore.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. A hat trick on your birthday, it's like the best present you probably got all year.
Yeah, no. I'll still find a way because he'll do something.
You brought up all your most hated today. Gardner Minshew.
Abe says Dorsey went to the Lions. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he's out somewhere. Let us go back to 2017 and feel good. I wish, Nadir. But let's get into the Sixers review. So since my last show, we previewed the Portland game when they were severely undermanned. Sixers found a way to lose that one. Ben Simmons didn't play. They lose that one, and then they bounce back on Saturday. Oh, well, Ty says he's still listed as a consultant. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure he got a promotion somewhere. But
then we're in trouble, is the point.
They come back Saturday and take care of business against the James Harden and Brooklyn Nets, although Kyrie and KD didn't play. I was really hoping to see the full matchup come out. But nonetheless, the Sixers take care of business, pull away late in the third quarter and into the fourth quarter and handle them once Ben strapped up Harden. Go ahead.
Just a quick note. I don't want to talk about it long. Did you see that KD thing the night before? Or 2 nights before? All right, so he had the tracing thing where they had to do the whole test. So he came off the bench. Protocol. He come off the bench. Yeah. He plays. They take him out and then they sit him for the night. What
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he broke protocol, and that's why he's in contact trade. He was in that issue.
Well, why'd he play then?
I have no idea.
Dude,
Everything is so flawed about what goes on. They say you can't high five. Everyone's still like, what is going on? What happened?
I said they're dapping each other up.
Yeah, go Sixers, go Flyers, go Phillies. That's right, Ty. So anyway, there's a few talking points I want to hit on, and they have to do with our two cornerstones. So the Sixers did improve to 17-7. They're still in first place in the East. They've actually gained a little bit of room. Again, what are they, 2.5?
Yeah, over Milwaukee. Yeah,
over Milwaukee. Yup. So let's just start here. 2-5 didn't play against the depleted Trailblazers, right?
No, we did not.
And this ain't a jab at Joel Embiid, because Joel Embiid was out of this world against the Portland Trailblazers. And Tobias wasn't that good that night, and he got no help. And Nadir, I know, Furkan hit a couple shots the other night against Brooklyn. Your boy got the start and nod against Portland and was awful. Okay. So he had no help against Portland. But with that being said, anyone want to acknowledge that 2-5 might be a little important to this team? Just a little bit, Gint.
Dude.
Like just at all. Is he at least a little bit more important now in people's eyes?
I texted one of my buddies who is a Ben. Shouldn't say he's a Ben hater because he appreciates Ben on the team, but he's I want Bradley Beal guy, not Ben. And I wanted a James Harden guy. I texted him and I was like, he looks pretty important out there, huh?
Yeah.
He said, well, the whole team's playing bad. And I said,
oh, shit, I almost dropped my phone.
I said, well, it's almost like maybe he makes guys look a little bit better out there, right?
Yeah.
He said, no, they're just missing shots.
Oh.
I said, oh, well, maybe he gets some looks that are better, and it makes the game a lot easier for them. He said, no, they're getting the normal looks.
They were?
Just like, dude.
What game did I watch?
I was like, you cannot sit here and just neglect what he does. There's every stat you can think of proves it. The best was, I think it was most likely Brock, because I saw it on my timeline. It said Sixers shoot 41% from three off Ben's passes, and then without him, it's like 29% or something horrible. The haters, after that, I realized it's being a dead bush. It's just like at this point, good.
I don't want to cut you off, but I started this birthday celebration a little early Thursday night for the weekend, and I watched the game with some friends. And I was angry about how it played out, but I took to Twitter and started questioning people about how important 2-5 was. But let's just look at this, Gint. So Joel Embiid, like I said, 37 points, 14 of 21 from the field, 9 of 9 from the floor. But, let's look at everyone else. Tobias Harris, 5 of 14 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3. Furkan Korkmaz, 5 of 14 from the field, 1 of 7 from 3. Danny Green, 1 of 5 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. Seth got hurt. He was 0 of 1. Let's see. Thibault or Shake, 0 of 2 from 3. Thibault, 1 of 3. Maxey, 2 of 4. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, they also gave up 121.
Well, that was
to the completely depleted Portland Trailblazers.
Going back to that conversation, I said they had 109 points at the point. I was like, dude, we'd let up 109 points at this point to Portland's backups. And he said, yeah, Ben would probably change that with his 5 points a game. And I said, did you disregard what I said about the 109 points? And he said, who could he stop off the Blazers bench right now?
What is it, dude?
I literally
don't throw a name out there, but every time you tell me a conversation you have with a buddy, it makes me lose respect for you a little bit, because you gotta pick better friends, bro.
Dude,
you gotta pick better friends.
I got called a Sam Hinkie Jr. because I brought up the assist percentage, and he was like, I was like, what?
Because you know what they do, again? They try to insult. They try to steer the conversation a different way. It's like when I talked about Wentz versus Hurts with one of my friends in a group chat, and I just asked him an opinion on Jalen Hurts, and he had to insult Carson Wentz, in my opinion. I didn't ask you about Carson Wentz. I asked you about Jalen Hurts. No, another insult. Okay, it's the same thing here. They won't answer the question. They have to steer it and try to insult and get it going a different way because they know the response. If you didn't watch the Portland game last Thursday, and you can't acknowledge that he is critical to this team, you couldn't watch them get swept by the Boston Celtics for the first time in franchise history between those two teams without him playing a game. And you can't acknowledge how important he is. You're a lost cause. I don't know what to tell you anymore. There's no fighting it, Gint. There's just, we can just try to, make the people more knowledgeable, I guess.
Yeah.
Now that moves me to my next point. So they go on, they take care of business 124-108 against Brooklyn. I believe Ben, Tobias, and Joel combined for 70 points against, and I know they didn't have KD and Kyrie, but it's still a good win. They still had James Harden.
It's a win.
Yeah, exactly. You play who's in front of you. It's not like they didn't have any of the three. So they moved to 17-7 with that win. But I want to keep it with kind of a mix of both, right? Because there's always the conversation they can't play together. They don't want to play together. The fit isn't there. There's not enough
space.
They
don't like each other.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first, let me start you with Joel Embiid's tweet. So he says, let's go at Ben Simmons for an all-star 2 days ago after the Portland game. Someone says, stop. He's averaging 13 points per game. Even your other teammate, Tobias, deserves the spot more. Joel says, well, I guess you didn't watch the game yesterday. His value goes beyond the stats. Doc says the same thing. Okay, and if you want to say that just a teammate would say that, she's just being a good teammate, he didn't have to take to Twitter to do it. Okay? No. He did. Okay? The point is, if you couldn't watch that and acknowledge how important he is, I don't get it. But I want to take it to the next level with you, Gim, because I think you agree with me. And this is not a jab at Joel Embiid. This is not a controversy. I'm telling you that these two need each other and they play better together. I'm not tearing them apart. And I'm not saying Joel Embiid could have played any better against Portland. He was out of this world. I know the rest of the team wasn't good. But there is a very, very unfair criticism in this fan base and the media when the Sixers underperform when Joel Embiid's off the floor, but Ben Simmons is, compared to when the Sixers underperform when Joel Embiid plays, but Ben Simmons doesn't. Because Joel Embiid gave you 37 in the game Ben didn't play, and the game Joel didn't play, Ben only gave you 14. It's not good enough. It wasn't good. The 37 wasn't good enough for a win because the other things that Ben does contributed to a loss. So let me give you guys this stat. Since Ben Simmons' first game in the NBA, Ben with Joel. Ben without Joel, sorry. So games Ben plays and Joel doesn't. Ben is 34-34, 2-1 in the playoffs. Games that Joel's on the floor, but Ben misses. Joel is 9-17, 0-4 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I am not criticizing Joel Embiid. I'm criticizing the people that try to come up with stories and attack Ben Simmons. I'm not criticizing Joel Embiid and saying he needs to do more against Portland. Not at all. But there is a very, very unfair criticism towards 2-5, and it's just because people don't like him. That is it. I just read you the numbers. He is a 500 basketball player when Joel Embiid misses a game. Joel Embiid wins 35% of his games when Ben's not on the floor. Has it looked ugly this year? Yeah. They've only won one game without him. Okay? But what I'm saying is the criticism is not fair. Again, thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. Last year I was a huge stan on that. I thought Ben was much more important than Embiid. And I said that a ton. And this year that obviously with the way Joel's playing, my opinion changed. And it showed that Joel is more important. But we need both of them. And people love to pretend that a trade for a guy that's going to get you 30 points a night would change anything in terms of – I shouldn't say it wouldn't change anything. If you made a move for a guy that can get you 30, we might be better for a year if we get lucky and they just start shooting the crap out of the ball. But we need everything that both of them bring to the table. But the people that go, oh, well, Joel doesn't really need Ben. No, but the Sixers need Ben.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid might not need Ben Simmons, and he could go somewhere else and be really good. Yeah, obviously. But this team needs both of those guys fully healthy and fully engaged, which they both seem to be this year. Hence how we're defeated with everyone.
It's news to me. I thought they couldn't play together.
No, they don't like each other.
What are we now together? They're 13-0 when they're together, right, Gint? When the starting five's together?
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Mark
says Sixers need Embiid's offense as much as they need Simmons' defense. Let's see. Ty says, I swear Philadelphia fans just have no idea when we are moving in the right direction. They don't. They really don't. And that's all I'm saying. And I'm not calling anyone out on this that's in the comments right now. I'm just an overall estimate of this fan base criticizes Ben Simmons when the Sixers lose and Joel Embiid's not on the floor. But when the Sixers lose, when Joel Embiid plays and Ben Simmons doesn't, you don't hear a freaking peep. It's not fair. I just told you. 34-34, Ben without Joel. 9-17, Joel without Ben. Smaller sample size, but the percentages are way off.
100%. Also, I'd like to throw out there, just because we're kind of I want to talk about the Portland game, or not the Brooklyn game a little bit. Game was pretty close until Ben started guarding James Harden.
Get him, get.
And then all of a sudden, the lead grew to 10, to 15, and they ended up winning the game handily. And here we go with, he's not better than James Harden. James Harden, triple-double. Blah, blah, blah. James Harden's better than Ben Simmons, but Ben just brings more to what we need, in my opinion. That's why I didn't want to make the move from the beginning. And he's also 24. Sure.
Just other side notes in that game. Ben's defense on Harden in the second half was fantastic. Joel, like I said, Joel, Toby, and Ben combined for 70. That's huge. I think Ben had 16, 12, and 8 or whatever in that game on 7 of 10 shooting. So that's the biggest thing, right, Gint? I can deal with the lack of shooting from Ben from the outside. But the games that annoy me with everyone else when everyone's bitching about him are like the 2 of 3 nights he has from the field. Yeah. The 3 of 5. He can't only have 5 attempts. But when he's 7 of 10, 9 of 12, 10 of 15 that's the aggressive Ben Simmons. That all leads to an aggressive Ben. Let me get to some comments here. Beal is going to score 30 and going to let Harden score 40. Ben will score 15 and allow Harden. Yeah,
that's the best. We have a better chance outscoring Brooklyn with Beal than we do Ben. Yeah, well, you're still not going to outscore Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, James Harden because you added Bradley Beal. I would think the best option would be, hey, how can we maybe stop them a couple times? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, not for nothing, but how the hell did Harden lose 30 pounds?
Dude, that is so weird.
Yeah. And all I want to say to that, with the Brooklyn thing is funny because, and again, I know Kyrie and KD didn't play, so we've yet to get that full experience in that matchup. But my thing, it's nerve-wracking. Can we keep up with them offensively? They have any answer for Joel Embiid?
Dude, they don't have an answer for anyone in the paint. I remember I read they played the Cavs on that home and home.
Yeah.
Dude, they let up 134 points in the paint in those 2 games or something.
Didn't we go off and the disparity in the paint against us was crazy, wasn't it?
I think. Dude,
But you know what they did, right? Oh, they went out and got Noah Vonleh.
Did they? I didn't even see that. Not that he's good, but his hands are big. I know that. I wanted the Sixers to draft because he had big hands.
That's their answer to Joel Embiid.
No, Brooklyn's going to be a really, really tough out trying to beat that team for us.
I'm aware. I've said that.
But as of right now, and Paul had right when it happened, Paul Hibakidis was on, and he said they gave up all rim depth, which their rim depth was Jarrett Allen, and they did, and it's showing mightily because DeAndre Jordan is not good. They pulled him from the starting lineup, pretty sure. They're starting Jeff Green at the 5. Yeah. So I don't want to say I'm not worried because they're going to be a really tough out, but if you're going to let up that many points in the paint, those guys better get the 35 a night that they're talking about.
Yeah. Mark says the Nets game showed their lack of depth beyond their starters.
It
really did. And I'm pretty sure their bench outplayed our bench for a little while.
Yo, Landry Shamet stinks.
Well, he tore us up.
I know, but I just had to throw that out there. I hate him.
Yeah. Someone fouled out. Did DeAndre Jordan foul out of the game, or was that someone else?
I don't remember.
So let me ask you this, Gint, because you weren't on Thursday's show. But the night before, we had a conversation where you made a comment that this team is good enough right now where they can flip a switch. I remember you texted me against Portland, and the Charlotte game when they were allowing Charlotte to come back. And you said, remember that switch I told you about? They need to flip it back on. Yeah. Well, my question to you is, with the letdown game against Portland, but then you watch how they handle Harden and Brooklyn, do you still feel that way?
It was Norvell Pell that fouled out.
Yeah, two of us.
Wait, so your question was, do I
Do you still feel that they can flip because they had a letdown loss? Did that deter your opinion?
No, and that switch that you bring up is only against bad teams. You're only going to be able to like, if you do that against a Milwaukee, Brooklyn, Lakers, Clippers, like you're going to lose by 30. But I still think they have that switch, and it's not a good switch to have also. I should probably throw that out there because the Sixers are good and they're really good, but they're not good enough to just throw their shoes out there and beat teams, especially because don't get me wrong, Embiid, Harris, and Simmons is one of the best front courts in the NBA in terms of just your three biggest guys on the floor, but they don't have the most skill after that in terms of players on paper, which some of these teams do, like Kyrie, James Harden, Kevin Durant. But I still think they have that switch, and they'll be able to beat bad teams with it, but it's not something to get in the habit of.
No, and what I'll say about the Brooklyn game was we scored 124, and first of all, Seth Curry shot his way out of his slump a little bit, but he was still like 4 of 11 from the field, so he didn't shoot the lights out.
Yeah, he scored though.
Yeah, what's going to help you against Brooklyn down the road is if your big three and Ben, Joel, and Toby are playing up to their capability. Is Danny Green hitting shots? Is Seth Curry giving you offense? Is Shake Milton producing off the bench? Those are three huge components to this team. Danny Green had a fire lit under his ass after that no foul call, dude, in the corner.
Dude, I was talking to my buddy right when that happened. I was like, he gets the technical, and then he just drills 2 threes right in front of one, their bench, and 2, the ref that gave him the technical.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yeah. That's a great comment, Abe. That switch starts on defense. Ben is the defensive catalyst that flips that switch. He is. That's a great point. I agree with you 100%. Another thing with this team, we keep talking about how they're on another level, and we have to wrap up the show in a minute or two, but they're a lot closer than I could have ever anticipated this new team being, if that makes sense to you.
In terms of like relationships?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just even on, maybe it's not, but it's going past on the floor. Like you seeing Ben, Joel, and Toby pushing for each other, like on social media in post-game interviews for them to, talk, like get each other into the All-Star game, for, Ben talking about how Joel he's seeing how dominant he can be. Joel talking about Ben, vice versa. Doc said they all watched the Super Bowl together. I think I get on them on the floor. I think Dwight's a huge glue. I think Danny Green's glue. Like, I think Danny Green and Dwight are 2 all-season acquisitions that kind of mold this team together off the floor. And it's showing on the floor, I think. Like, I want to wrap up by saying this. How freaking crazy is it? Like, we'll go back to the Faithful Fanatics before we started the Daily Dose, you and I. And think about how we talked about this new coaching staff, new system, new role players. It's going to go through some growing pains. They're going to have hard times and have to find time to gel together. They're 13-0.
I know.
That's crazy. And it's not a huge sample size. But 13-0, 17-7 in a short 72-game season, you skip those growing pains. I can't foresee them like all of a sudden going through struggles like what's the word I'm looking for? Never mind. Forget it all.
Let me chime in real quick. I agree. I'll be interested to see if we do want to go on a skid, how you like kind of take down that adversity. But they've faced adversity in all these games, it feels like, and they're still finding a way to pull out games. I don't see them being the finger pointers like I talked about with Brooklyn in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But Abe Link said he still thinks we're Lou Will or PJ Tucker away, and I agree with a stretch 4. But dude, Brian Jacobs, the man.
You're on the Kyle Lowry trade?
Dude, give me Kyle Lowry.
Okay, that's fine. I agree. I would love that.
Maxey can walk.
Okay. How much you giving up for him though? How many?
Danny Green, Tyrese Maxey, Mike Scott, and a pick.
Okay. I'm just saying, you can't give up too much depth to get him because Lowry won't over. What?
We don't have depth.
Yeah, exactly. And you would be giving up any depth just for him.
Just front load.
No.
Front load.
I'm not going Portland style. I'm not going a lesser version of I'm not going a lesser version of Brooklyn. not front loading with lesser version.
Not a lesser version, dude. You'll still have Shake Milton. You'll still have the one, if not the best backup center in the NBA.
Well, apparently the Nadir, it's time to trade him. Have you seen this comment down there? Time to trade DH.
What are we getting for Dwight Howard?
You're not getting shit for Dwight Howard.
The second,
not to mention, why would you want to give away the best backup center Joel's ever had? I get on his performance sometimes when has rocks in his head.
He sucks when he starts. That's all, and he's never going to start. That's why you have number 21.
Oh man, love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. With that being said, this is going to wrap up this edition of the Daily Dose. I will be back tomorrow. Gint has Mr. Cool, and as of right now has an away game to coach tomorrow. He'll be back with me on Wednesday, I believe. So again, I hope I was okay. My first performance on Thursday with you guys.
You were great. I watched it. It was nice.
Thanks, kid.
You're 23 now, man. You can do it alone.
I'm mature enough for that. Tune in tomorrow with me, guys. Comment as much as possible. We'll keep it light. We'll keep it fun. Sixers start their road stand tomorrow. Their West Coast stand in Sacramento. Like you said, dude, I'm 23. I don't know if I can make that entire game.
Oh, dude, not looking forward to it. Got work at like 5 a.m. on Thursday too. Like
I'll be up. I'll just have to start drinking at like 7 on a Tuesday. That being said, you can follow myself on Twitter at DylanJD98. Follow Gint at Matt_McGinty on Twitter. Like this video. Subscribe to the Painted Lines on Twitter. On YouTube. Follow them on Twitter at the Painted Lines. If you're going to watch this on YouTube or Twitter or on Periscope afterwards, comment who your goat of all goats is. I'll keep this discussion going all week because there wasn't too much back and forth. I did see a lot of LeBron stands, but also Tom Brady stands. So we'll keep this conversation going all week as the NFL just wrapped up. Have a nice night, guys. Go Sixers. Go Flyers.